silence. Skimming through a verse to rehearse from closed eyelids. Without a thought in mind, I shine through the lines. Thoughts combined, causing me to spit.
Yo, what up though? This is your boy Crispy Daniels, and you are once again on ShowNTalk. Alright y'all, so I'm going to let you know right now, I'm going to struggle through this review because it's hard as it is talking about this movie. I really don't want to talk about it, but I have to because it's a part of a franchise, and I think y'all know what that is. Kickboxer 4. Okay, so before I start, there's 3 things I need to know. 1, since when did David Sloan get set up by Tong Po for a crime he did not commit? Because in the beginning, he's in prison writing a letter to his wife that, again, we all didn't know that he had. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. When did this man get married? Because if I could recall, in the 3rd movie, him and Zen Child was headed to Brazil for a vacation. There was nothing happening between that and the 2nd movie. Now, unless they just ignore the 3rd movie altogether and just, include the 2nd movie and the 1st movie, then yeah, I get it. But, the 2nd movie and the 4th movie, I would understand. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't see it. You know what I mean? It just didn't make sense to me. And then the last thing I need to know is, when did Tong Po become a drug lord? Because the reason why we all know that's what he was is because David Sloan was offered a deal by the feds to help them bring down Tong Po. And Tong Po had his wife. Because in the beginning, like I said, he was writing a letter to his wife, and it was recapping everything from the 1st and 2nd movie. You know what I'm saying? And so he was writing a letter to his wife, basically telling her that he was set up by Tong Po and warning her that he may be coming after her next. And so when he agreed to work with the feds, he was freed. And so there was this one tournament taking place in this little garage after he got out of prison. And so when he saw the 2 dudes fighting, he decided to join in and beat up both of the dudes at the same time. And so I guess a fight broke out between those 3, and he winds up watching those 2 easily. And then he heads over to this bar where there's this little 20-year-old young lady in the bar being harassed by these 2 dudes. And she tries to fight one of them, and then the other dude knocks her out with a beer bottle. And so she gets up after a few minutes and gets knocked right back out. And so David comes in, and he pretty much cleans out the entire bar. He whoops everybody's ass. And the choreography in the bar is just all right. Not good, but it was all right. And so after saving the girl, she basically tells him to fuck off, which didn't make any sense. Like, she came off as a little scrappy chick, you know what I mean? Like, she's using her bad attitude to substitute for the fact that she's extremely short, trying to play tough, you know what I'm saying? And so she knew that he was going to participate in that tournament that Tong Po was holding. You know what I'm saying? And so it was like a little while after that, David, he finally made it to the tournament grounds. And so it was like preliminary matches. And so, he had to fight the chick that he saved in the bar. And so, and I got to say, this girl's acting it sucked. I ain't even gonna lie. It sucked. Her martial arts was pretty good, but she couldn't act for nothing. You know what I mean? I can't even lie. Her acting was bad. But so she's over here trying to fight David, but David puts her in a sleeper, you know what I'm saying, a chokehold, puts her to sleep easily, and she's eliminated automatically, but she had a second chance. You know what I mean? So when the actual tournament started, Tong Po was doing a lot of chatting. You know what I mean? Like, a lot. Now, in the 1st movie, he barely spoke at all. And to me, that's what made him so threatening. is that he didn't speak like that. You know what I mean? But in this movie right here, this dude was just talking. Like, Tong Po became a joke in the fourth movie. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, in the first movie, he was all about Muay Thai. You know what I mean? The only time you saw him is when he was about to fight. Even in the second movie, the only time you saw him was in the ring. You know what I mean? Now, in this movie, again, he's a drug lord. And so you had all these fighters from all over. And I'll say during the tournament, when they was holding the tournament, a lot of them dudes, you know, the choreography was excellent. I can't even lie. The choreography was excellent. Now, there was one scene, right, where it was the young lady's turn to fight. You know what I'm saying? So she fought her opponent and she won. And then this black dude came out of nowhere, and I gotta say the audio was just poor. You know what I mean? Like, because it wasn't his turn to fight. He was just jumping up out of place, out of turn to fight this chick. And so, you know, he was talking a lot of shit. And I'm just like, but I don't think he was moving his lips, in my opinion. It was just the audio thing. You know what I'm saying? And the stuff he was saying was just like, yo, what the hell, man? And then she knocked him out in like one hit. And that was that. You know what I'm saying? But David Sloan, well, his goal was to find his wife because he was doing a lot of sneaking around. And then he had ran into, I think Andrew, if I'm not mistaken, Andrew is the dude. I don't even remember. I got to go back and look. But Drew, I think he's the dude from the second movie. No, that's Brian, my bad. Andrew, you know what I'm saying? He was the older brother of the guy in this movie that was helping David, you know, save his wife. Now, at first, I don't think David knew he was there. No, David knew he was there, but he didn't recognize him. You know what I'm saying? So, old boy told David who he was, and he agreed to help David find his wife. And so, when it was David's turn to fight, right, in the tournament, because Tong Po was watching very carefully, the guy that was helping him out distracted Tong Po by talking to one of the women that he had. And so Tong Po's attention was on him, you know, harassing her while David was fighting his opponent. You know, he gave David, you know, he gave him time long enough to fight his opponent. And so after that, Tong Po turned his attention back to the ring once the fight was over. And I don't know how he didn't recognize David Sloan. You know what I mean? Like, he got that distinctive feature. Dude's tall as hell, and he had like that square head. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know how he didn't recognize him, man. Like, they fought twice. No, did they fight twice? No, they fought once, but Tong Po should have recognized him. You know what I mean? Especially the fact that he was also using Muay Thai in his match. But after that, you know what I'm saying, the matches was over for the day. And so, old boy, you know, the one that was harassing the girl earlier winds up going to her room. You know what I'm saying? He winds up smashing, but he was only, because at first, you know, she was wanting to get him business. You know what I mean? It was the main chick that Tong Po had. She was wanting to give old boy the business, the one that was helping David. But at first, he didn't want no parts of her. So then he knew that she can help him out, to find David's wife or whatever. And so he winds up having sex with her. And then after that, he tries to get information out of her, which eventually she agreed to help him because, you know, he was going to help her get up out of there as well. And so the discount, Michael Dudikoff, right? He was standing outside the door, so apparently he heard the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Michael Dudikoff character, yo, I swear that nigga look like Michael Dudikoff, yo. The dude with the, he had like a tattoo of a knife in his neck, you know what I'm saying? Dude looked just like Michael Dudikoff and sounded just like him. I swear to God, y'all thought it was him at first. I had to look it up. But anyway, it's somebody else. I forgot what his name, the actor's name was, but Yeah, he was a scumbag in this movie. But anyway, after they heard everything, those two talking or whatever, he had got the girl, you know what I'm saying, took her to Tong Po. And they also got, I'm gonna call him David's partner, because I forgot what the dude's name was, the one that was helping him trying to find his wife. They got him. And they basically tied both of them up and beat them. And Tong Po was trying to get information out of old boy. But every time dude wasn't talking, he winds up stabbing old girl, you know what I'm saying? The girl, the main girl. And so they wind up killing her. And then eventually they catch David, because David was still sneaking around, trying to find his wife, but he got ambushed. And so now all three of them are hanging, by their arms or whatever. But the girl, she was dead. So they had her hanging there just dead. And eventually they brought them out. They brought those two out to the ring, David and his boy out to the ring, you know what I'm saying? To fight the remaining, the last remaining opponents. And so Tong Po offered a $500,000 bonus to anybody that can kill David. And so David winds up fighting three of them. And so Tong Po was trying to get the girl to fight, but then she, was telling him, "You scared? Why don't you fight him yourself?" And so she would pretty much convinced everybody that was left to turn against, Tong Po, and it helped them escape. And so all the guards got their asses whooped by the remaining fighters. And David spots Tong Po, so now it's down to those two. And at first, it was an even match. You know what I'm saying? Tong Po, David Sloan. But then eventually, David Sloan got the best of him and started whooping his ass all over the yard. You know what I mean? And the discount Michael Dudikoff, he had David's wife, at gunpoint. And he was telling David to back off of Tong Po. And so once he did, Tong Po got up, ran away, and that was the last time you saw him. There's no more movies with him in it. You know what I'm saying? But so David walked up to old boy. You know what I'm saying? He grabbed a knife off the table, threw it, and it went right through the discount Michael Dudikoff's head. You know what I'm saying? And so he falls to the ground dead. And so that was pretty much that. Tong Po disappeared, old boy was killed, and he got his wife back. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty much the end of the movie. Now, the actor that played Tong Po, I forgot what his name was, but it wasn't Michelle Keisha. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, I'm just like, this was not a good movie. This movie should have never been made. Part 5 should have been part 4. You know what I'm saying? And if you go back and watch part 1, part 2, hell, even part 3, and then you watch this one, you're going to say the same thing, because I remember the first time I seen this movie years ago, yo. Now, I was a little excited to see it because I never saw, I was obsessed with the Kickboxer movies once. And I really wanted to see part 4 because I seen the first 3, but I just didn't see that one. But then when I watched it, I had to ask myself, what the fuck did I just watch, man? Yo, Kickboxer 4 is a trash-ass movie. I'm sorry, but that movie should have never been made. But if you want to watch it, and if you're curious to see how bad it is, hey, be my guest. And if I got to grade this movie, I'm not going to give it a grade because it doesn't deserve one. Not even in the negatives. That's how bad it is. This movie was it was terrible. But like I said, check it out at your own risk. Don't blame me if you get, if it traumatizes you. I'm just letting you know my thoughts on it and how it was. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, if you're watching this on YouTube, give me a like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. And I'm about to jump off of here and go take a dump. And I will talk to y'all later. All right? Peace.
The feeling is mutual. Come in, take a seat, share your thoughts with each, and preach it when you speak, so we can share kinetic energy throughout the brainwave. Keep us balanced out and all on the same thing.